today. From Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense going to go to work, and it is Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Watson, off play action. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation, and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. On first down, Singleton, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
On second down now, it's Mullins, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. He'll try again, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time. One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Watson on first down. It's the right side here, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run. Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
You call plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And that is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it's... sailed out at the 10-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
They've got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry runs an even 90 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense set to regain possession. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And he stopped immediately there. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Here's Watson. And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Brown in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Taking on the midfield logo. And running with power here. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They run the counter. Singleton. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Watson making his way back out, the focus of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
After the turnover, it's Tua. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And then it's caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it is 28-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On the handoff, running left is Hubbard. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Watson on 3rd down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Tua. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense taking over again. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. On first down, Watson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
And as a defender, if you come up with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
They'll run on first down. Singleton. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. On second down, it's Mullins. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there and have to think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. On second down now, it's Morgan. Oh, he shifts past him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, Hubbard. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give running right. It's Hubbard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second and 7. They'll try the air now with Watson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. From the 50, it's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 6. 15-yard line. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry runs 84 yards. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point. The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, it's Morgan. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, this is Hubbard. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And he gets it down to the 32.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And it's incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. Watson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just 1 play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
On second down now, it's Morgan, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down, they hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, it's Watson. Over the middle, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Watson's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, that helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
He's got a man complete. The 30. 10. Touchdown Dolphins. Henry Ruggs on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. To throw again on second down. Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. The final shot before the break, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin in the birthplace of rock and roll, Memphis, Tennessee. And it's the Chargers who are on top in the second quarter. Justin Herbert with 2 touchdown passes. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, up close to 200 yards receiving with a touchdown catch as well. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Let's go. You tighten up. Patch it.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, D. Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 58 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
They run the counter. Dillard, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
2nd and 4.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will take it in. Front Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and
his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in the second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
Miami set to take over.
This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That time, a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
First down, Dillard, and down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
57, Mike, 57. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They run the counter. Mullins. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down, here's a run with Hubbard.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Dolphins get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards. Time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll keep it on the ground. Blake. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run on first down. It's Mullins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. And that's on Austin Jackson, first-round pick in 2020. And he'll give it here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Chris Barnes.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defense in front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On second down, it's Mullins, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. I don't even know why this team showed up.
They run the counter. Singleton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. 57. Mike, 57. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st down, Mullins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 57 the mic. 57 the mic.
They run the counter. Dillard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Blake, and he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Blake, and they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
Touchdown, defense. 55 is my guy, 55. You can't block me. You can't block me.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
57's the mic. Watch 57. I smell fear in that offense.
And they'll run again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going, but it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Faking the give, now Watson. He hits Adams, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one, 39 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Again, it's Watson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. It's Hubbard. They find some open field here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Watson. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.